case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In a riveting interpretation of marital law, the Oregon Supreme Court ruled in 2009 on the intriguing case of State v. Serrano, which delved into the depths of confidentiality within wedlock, setting precedent for future situations. The case pivoted on the right of a married couple to keep their intimate exchanges confidential, thus shielding these privileged communications from being used as evidence in court. The defendant, embroiled in murder charges, attempted to bar his wife from testifying against him, invoking the privilege of marital communications. The prosecution, on the other hand, vehemently argued that discussions pertaining to the dissolution of a marriage should not be enveloped in this protective privilege. As the scales of justice swung back and forth, the court wrestled with the interpretation of confidential communication. They reached a significant conclusion that the intent of the spouse engaging in the communication was a critical determinant in asserting confidentiality under the privilege. The court steadfastly upheld that the defendant's conversations with his wife following the alleged murders were private, given they were not intended for disclosure to others. The defendant did not renounce this privilege, hence the notes and calls from his estranged wife, who was in the midst of forsaking their marriage in the wake of an affair, fell under the protection of this privilege. Following the wife's revelation of her affair and decision to abandon him via notes and phone calls, the court established that her intentions were indeed meant to be private. Given that the state failed to prove that the defendant negated his privilege, communications were deemed confidential. Ultimately, the court affirmed the order excluding the defendant's post-murder communications with his wife from evidence, solidifying the authority of confidentiality in marital communications. This impactful decision anchored itself in the premise that spousal communications are considered confidential, unless a demonstrated intent for disclosure is evident.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.